This is the part of the story you never thought you'd hear. We know Steve Harvey as the man who can light up any room, a comedian with a smile that can disarm tension in seconds, a host whose quick wit has made him one of the most recognizable faces in entertainment. From Family Feud to The Steve Harvey Show, from radio to television, his booming laugh and larger-than-life personality have made millions believe that Steve's life is nothing but joy and success. But behind that trademark grin lies a history of heartbreak, struggle, and sacrifices that would crush most people. And now, at 68, the truth of Steve Harvey's journey reveals just how much pain and loss he's endured to stand where he is today. Let's go back to the very beginning. Steve Harvey wasn't born into fame or fortune. He came into this world on January 17, 1957, in Welch, West Virginia, a tiny coal mining town where opportunity was scarce and money even scarcer. His father, Jesse Harvey, worked as a coal miner. His mother, Eloise, was a Sunday school teacher who kept faith alive in the family even when the world seemed unforgiving. Steve grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, in a modest house where laughter was free, but bills often went unpaid. He wore hand-me-downs, worked odd jobs, and dreamed of something bigger than the life he saw around him. But dreams, as Steve would learn, are never free. His early years were a maze of wrong turns and hard lessons. After high school, he tried everything: boxing, insurance sales, carpet cleaning, even mail delivery, searching for a path that felt right. Nothing stuck. Then, one night in 1985, while working as a carpet cleaner and barely scraping by, he stepped onto a comedy stage for the first time. The moment he heard the audience laugh, something inside him clicked. Comedy wasn't just a job, it was his calling. Yet chasing that calling came with a devastating price. When Steve decided to pursue stand-up full-time, he sacrificed almost everything. He lost a stable income, spent nights driving hundreds of miles for gigs that paid barely enough for gas, and often had nowhere to sleep. For 3 long, grueling years, Steve Harvey was homeless. Imagine that for a moment. The man who would one day wear sharp suits and host national TV shows sleeping in his car, washing up in gas station bathrooms, and praying for a break. There were nights I cried myself to sleep, Steve later admitted. I wondered if I'd made the biggest mistake of my life. During those years, Steve faced heartbreaks that went beyond financial hardship. His first marriage crumbled under the strain of poverty and uncertainty. He missed precious time with his children because he simply couldn't be there. I was chasing a dream, he said quietly in an interview, but I felt like I was losing everything that mattered. Can you imagine the weight of that guilt, knowing you might be sacrificing your family for a future that may never come? And yet, Steve refused to quit. He kept grinding, performing in small clubs, enduring hecklers, and living on sheer faith. In 1990, everything changed when he became a finalist in the prestigious Johnny Walker National Comedy Search. Suddenly, the industry noticed. A few years later, he landed a spot on It's Showtime at the Apollo, where his sharp timing and infectious charisma made him a household name. Soon came The Steve Harvey Show, national radio gigs, comedy tours, and eventually, global fame. To the world, it looked like Steve Harvey had finally made it. But even success came with new heartbreak. Behind the laughter, Steve endured 2 painful divorces, each one leaving emotional scars and financial turmoil. The custody battles, the public scrutiny, the tabloid headlines, each chapter tested his faith and resolve. People think money fixes everything, Steve once said, but it doesn't heal a broken heart. Perhaps one of the most shocking and human moments in Steve's life came in 2015, during the Miss Universe pageant. Millions watched as he mistakenly announced the wrong winner, crowning Miss Colombia instead of Miss Philippines. The world mocked him. Memes spread like wildfire. His career could have been destroyed in a single night. But instead of hiding, Steve owned up to the mistake live on air, apologized, and faced the backlash with grace. "I had to stand there and take it," he later said. "That's what a man does." It was a moment of public humiliation, but also of incredible courage. Even in recent years, the tragedies have not stopped. Steve has faced health scares, intense media criticism, and heartbreaking family challenges. He has spoken openly about the pain of losing his beloved mother, Eloise, a woman who had been his spiritual anchor. "When my mama died, I lost my best friend," he said, his voice cracking. "There are days I still reach for the phone to call her." He also shared the emotional toll of trying to be a father figure to 7 children, some biological, some through marriage, while juggling an unforgiving career. "Blended families are beautiful," he admitted, "but they're hard. You love, you sacrifice, and sometimes you still feel like you're failing." And now, at 68, Steve Harvey stands as a man who has survived storms few of us could imagine. He has wealth, fame, and influence beyond measure. But as he himself admits, success does not erase the scars. "People see the suits and the smile," he said in a recent interview, "but they don't see the nights I spent in a car. They don't see the tears. They don't see the prayers I prayed when nobody else was listening." Here's the heartbreaking truth. Steve Harvey's tragedy isn't just about the losses he's faced. It's about the loneliness that comes with carrying so much pain behind a public mask. Even now, with all his accomplishments, he confesses to moments of doubt and sorrow. "I still wake up some nights," he said quietly, "wondering if I've done enough, if I've loved enough, if I've been enough. Oh no." Can you feel that? It's the realization that no amount of applause can fill the empty spaces left by loss. And yet, Steve's story is not just one of tragedy. It's also a testament to resilience, faith, and the power of never giving up. He often says that everything he endured, every night of hunger, every heartbreak, every humiliation, was part of God's plan. "You can't tell me prayer doesn't work," he insists. "I'm living proof." He built scholarship programs to help young people chase their dreams, launched mentorship initiatives to guide fatherless boys, and continues to use his platform to inspire millions. Today, Steve Harvey lives with his wife, Marjorie, whom he calls the love of his life. Together, they've created a blended family filled with love, though not without its challenges. He cherishes his grandchildren, often sharing stories of fishing trips and family dinners that remind him of what truly matters. And even as he continues to host shows and grow businesses, he remains grounded by the same lessons he learned in his car all those years ago. That faith can move mountains, that failure is not final, and that love, real love, is worth every sacrifice. But the tragedy remains. At 68, Steve Harvey's journey is a stark reminder that success does not shield us from heartbreak. It doesn't erase the nights of loneliness, the losses that never fully heal, or the quiet battles we fight when the cameras are off. Steve's smile may light up millions of homes, but behind that smile is a man who has endured more than most will ever know. And maybe that's why we connect with him so deeply. Because his story is not just about fame, it's about survival. So the next time you see Steve Harvey cracking jokes on TV, remember the man behind the microphone. Remember the young dreamer who once slept in his car. Remember the father who cried over lost time. Remember the husband who still prays for strength. Because Steve Harvey's tragedy isn't just his, It's a reflection of the struggles we all face, the pain we all carry, and the hope that somehow, through faith and perseverance, we can rise above it. What do you think of Steve Harvey's incredible journey? Did you know how much heartbreak he carried behind the laughter? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story moved you, please give this video a like. Subscribe for more untold celebrity truths. And remember, behind every smile, there's a story the world rarely sees.